Today I'm going to talk about my biggest problems with the S23 Ultra. Now, of course, when I did my full review, I talked about the things that I don't like, but these are my biggest problems with the S23 Ultra. Now, just keep in mind real quick, I'm going to say I absolutely love this device. Okay, I love it. Was it a great upgrade from the Note 20 Ultra? Absolutely. If you have the Note 20 Ultra and you're getting bad battery life or bad performance, definitely get the S23 Ultra. It is a worthy upgrade. I'm telling you. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. It is a worthy upgrade. The one thing you will miss from the Note 20 Ultra, of course, is the expandable storage. But if you can, get the 512 gig variant of this and you should be fine. But it's definitely worth the upgrade from the Note 20 Ultra, no question about it. But I do have some problems with this phone. Now let me tell you what they are real quick. First thing is the presentation. Now I know everybody don't care. That's obvious. Most people don't care about the presentation. You know how I know that? Because Samsung hasn't made any changes to it. Because I definitely really feel as if the people complained enough, sent Samsung these emails or stopped buying their products, I guarantee you the presentation would be a lot better on their devices. But because people don't care, they'll keep paying these astronomical amounts of money for their devices and don't care if they get anything in the box. They're going to continue to do this. But when people stand up and let them know this is unacceptable, I'm not spending all this money and you're not giving me nothing but a charging cable, that's the only way it's going to change. Other than that, people just say, it is what it is, and they trying to save the environment. Forget that. There's so many other people out, so many other manufacturers, other companies giving you at least a charger in the box, and Samsung gives you nothing. I don't like that. The presentation that Samsung puts out for their devices really, really bothers me. I don't like it at all. That is a huge issue I have with this device. Next is the face unlock. The face unlock on here sucks. It's inconsistent, and I don't like that. You spend this much money for a device, it's a flagship device. The face unlock should work consistently, okay? Not every now and again. See how it is? It don't read my face at all. See, face don't read. It should easily be able to read my face, and it doesn't. It's pathetic. I can't stand the face unlock on this device. I hate it. Next, the battery charging speeds, crap. I mean, there's no way this should be taking me an hour and 15 minutes with 45-watt charging. How is it that a $200 device can charge faster than a $1,200 device? I got a OnePlus Nord, the Nord 30, I think that is. That I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. The OnePlus Nord 30 has 50-watt wireless charging and charges faster than this phone, and that's a $250 device. This is pathetic. Okay? Hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, that's a joke. That is an absolute joke. Don't like that at all. That is unacceptable. The wireless charging is just as trifling at 15 watts. I mean, seriously? 15 watts? And the lousy 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging? That's unacceptable. You should not be okay with that. Not when all these other manufacturers out here, the average is 50 watts. Average. Next, I want to talk about lack of consistency of smoothness. Now, I don't know what it is, but it just bothers me. It's like sometimes everything seems like it's running smooth. Sometimes it feels like it's not. It's just not consistent. I don't really know what to say. Like sometimes when I'm scrolling like this, it feels like sometimes it'll go smooth and then it'll stop and then it'll flutter. It's just not consistently smooth when I'm doing stuff, especially when I'm scrolling. And I don't like that. Sometimes when I'm on YouTube and I'm trying to scroll and the thing won't even move. Like I don't know what's up with that. It's just not consistent. Nothing like my Vivo, which is silky smooth, my OnePlus, my Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. It's not consistently smooth. I don't like that. Not for something that's calling itself an Ultra. Next, the 8 gigs of RAM base storage is pathetic. I mean, I don't understand. Why would you take 4 gigs away? 12 gigs was the standard. Okay, the Note 10 Plus, 12 gigs. The Note 20 Ultra, 12 gigs. The S20 Ultra, 12 gigs. The S21 Ultra, 12 gigs. They didn't start changing stuff. I think it's still maybe the S22 Ultra. Maybe they took it away. I don't know. But I know three generations prior to this, we was always getting 12 gigs. Why did you only give us 8 gigs for this, but still charge us the same amount of money? That is unacceptable. And I got to spend more money just to get a 12 gig? Come on, Samsung. I got a problem with that. Seriously. I don't like that. The front-facing camera. Now, let me see. I got to find something that's white so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Let me see if I can find something. No, that's black. I think. Okay. This camera should be smaller. Let me see. Do I have... All right. I don't have my my other note to show y'all the difference, but this should be a little bit smaller. It's bigger than what I expected. On my Redmi Note 11 Pro, it's actually smaller than this. And that's a budget device. This should be smaller. And for some reason, it's not completely circular. I see like, I don't know if y'all can see that. It's not completely circular. It's like a little dip on the side. I don't know if you can see it, but it should be smaller. You know, it definitely should be smaller. And I'm not saying that's a huge deal, but still, I mean, with the phone, you know, being this big and, you know, people don't like intrusions on their front display. Of course, there's some, you know, there's very few phones out. Well, they're starting to make phones that have the camera under display, but the quality's still not there yet. But even with the OnePlus 7 Pro, if y'all remember that, it had a mechanism, you know, with the front-facing camera popped up. But some people got used to not having no intrusion on their front display at all. But when you have phones, and I have phones that have the front-facing camera that's smaller, I think it should have been smaller on this device. Next, the S Pen feels cheap. Now, I'm sorry to say that, and I should have had the S Pen from my Note 4 on hand to show y'all the difference. Now, I did that in another video a long time ago. I don't remember what video that was. But this S Pen feels cheap. It feels like if you put too much pressure on this thing, you'll break it easily. It should be thicker and it should be more stern. Although I'm a Republican, I had watched the Democratic National Convention on TV. Let me turn this down. And I'd caught a speech. I don't know why that started. Senator from Illinois. All right, I don't know why that started. Excuse me, y'all. I don't know why this thing feels cheap. It just feels like you could easily break this. I don't know why Samsung, they need to make this thing a little thicker. Just make it feel a little more substantial. It just feels cheap to me. I mean, it you know, performs great, but it just feels cheap. It just does. I just don't like that. Next, of course, one of my biggest gripes with any Samsung device, especially their top tier devices, no expandable storage. Why? I don't know why. I don't understand it, and it's ridiculous. I don't know how the tablets, the budget phones, some mid-range phones can all have expandable storage, but on your most expensive device, I can't have no expandable storage. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that for any company that can give their budget phone a headphone jack, expandable storage, but won't put it on their top selling devices. Makes no sense to me. Now, if somebody can help me understand that, please leave your comments down in the comment section, because I want to understand why. It makes no sense to me. Unless it's just flat out money grab. They're trying to force you to buy a bigger variant, which is very possible. But we should not tolerate this nonsense. This is nonsense. And last, No improvement with the audio. Samsung, you just came out with the S24. You're charging $100 more, $1,300. Why does it not have a quad DAC in it? The audio in this device is just mediocre to me. It's okay. It's not horrible, but it could be so much better if you just put a quad DAC in there. I mean, you're calling it an ultraphone. You're calling it an ultraphone. Can I get a quad DAC? Okay? I just don't get it. There's been no improvement to this audio in years. Yes, it has a 32-bit DAC in there, but not a quad DAC, nothing like the LG. That's what it needs. It needs that quad DAC like the LG V60 has, and it would take this audio to a whole nother level. That's what I'm talking about. These are the kind of things they can improve upon. Won't you give us an alert slider? Won't you give us an IR blaster? Bring back expandable storage, a headphone jack, a quad DAC. Those are some bona fide upgrades and improvements that I think a lot of people would love, especially when you're charging this much money for these devices. Those are actual improvements. Better charging speeds. Come on, Samsung. Give us a better presentation. Put some stuff in the box. No accessories? Come on. It's ridiculous. Makes no sense. The face unlock should not be this poor either. I just don't get it. And the smoothness of this device should be better. So look, those are my biggest problems with the S23 Ultra. Other than that, I absolutely love this device. I love the design. I love the thickness. I love how big it is. I love this display. This display is great. Okay. The battery life on here is great too. The cameras, great. No problems with the cameras. Performance, like I said, it's okay, but it could be better, much smoother. You know, different animations. Fingerprint sensor sometimes can still act a little funny, but like I said, and I love One UI. Overall, I love this device. I really do. Button placement is good. You know, overall, I love it. But Samsung really need to step up. I'm sick and tired of the same phone every year with very little updates. Now, this year is all about AI. I don't care about AI. Some of y'all out there care about, I don't care about AI. I want some of the stuff that you took away from us. I want it back. And I want some additions. How about some real innovation? How about using the back of the phone with a little display or something? Just something. Give us something innovative. Give us something else. Give us more for our money. Give us our money where you're not giving us our money's where you keep charging us more and more money, but you're giving us less and less of phone. Now they got the nerve with the S24 Ultra. You're getting this AI. By next year, they're going to make you pay for the AI. Are you kidding me? You'd be better off just getting a Google device because you're probably going to get better AI and you're not going to have to pay for it. I think that's ridiculous. Samsung is just getting ridiculous. And I think the main thing is because they don't really have that type of competition in this country. Because over here for us, it's basically Apple, Google, and Samsung. I can't really even say OnePlus because OnePlus do not advertise. If OnePlus advertised, I really believe more people will buy their devices. And I believe, you know, they will make more money if they just advertised. But they don't. So it's basically Apple, Samsung, and Google in this country. That's it. And there's so many great manufacturers out there that are making great devices where you could get way more value for your money. Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo. I mean, they're out there. Redmi. They're out there. ROG. There's a lot of great devices from a lot of different manufacturers. Unfortunately, they don't, you can't get them through a carrier in this country. So Samsung rests on their laurels because in their minds and basically in reality, they don't have no competition. Now, of course, overseas, they have a lot of competition, but in this country, they ain't got no competition. That's why a lot of people, I use phones and people always ask me, what kind of phone is that? Where'd you get that from? Never heard of it. No advertisement. You can't get it here unless you get it shipped here. You can't get it through a carrier, and that's the way most people get their devices. But Samsung, listen, y'all need to do better. This is just unacceptable, especially when you keep calling these phones Ultra. I'd rather you just say Pro than Ultra, because there's really nothing Ultra about this device, honestly. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, there's really nothing Ultra about this phone. Not with all that stuff that's missing. If you look at my full review, I had way more dislikes than I just talked about just now. Not for something costing this much, calling itself an Ultra phone. Not being their best device. No. I know the S24 is a new boy on the block, but still, this phone just been out, about a year? A little over a year now. And still, calling itself an Ultra phone, and my Vivo X Note is killing it in so many different categories. That's actually an Ultra phone, but it's not calling itself an Ultra phone. But this is unacceptable. There's just too much stuff that's missing. And with the Vivo X Note, you actually got just an awesome presentation. You got a beautiful case with the charger in the box. You got headphones. You got a beautiful case. And you had a drawer where you just pull the tab and the drawer came out. Presentation was on point. This is trash. This is garbage when it comes to the presentation. Phone is great, but it's lacking so much. So Samsung, please do better. And we got to say something. We got to express ourselves, let them know they need to do better when it comes to these devices, especially when you're going to pay this much money for them. All right, so those are my biggest problems with the S23 Ultra. Thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.